Hey, what's up? I got my corny ass glasses on today because I can't read comments on a live feed. We'll see how this live feed goes. Because you can't have a cell phone do a live feed, man. Just won't let it happen. I mean, I've tried it. It just doesn't happen unless you got internet. But anyway, I just want to let everybody know that I'm all right. I'm still here. It's getting cold. I guess it's getting cold everywhere. I'm watching the news right now, trying to see when it's going to get warm. Let me pause this for a second, turn it down or something. Don't need no background noise. Oh, look, I got two people viewing. Anyway, I've been waiting for it to get warmer. I do have access to a torpedo heater. I've been moving a lot of stuff out of my old house. I'm the kind of person that just doesn't like leaving a mess in somebody's house. You know, whenever I get done renting a place, it's against my religion just to leave it a mess. You know, what you need and what you want, whatever, leave the rest of the crap laying and just let somebody else deal with it. I don't believe in that because I've had it happen to me before when I have, believe it or not, had my own rental properties and lost my ass on them due to the fact I've gotten ripped off. I trusted everybody. I didn't do any, whatever the reason is, let's not get into all that, But so I'm just having to clean up my mess over there at the other house. I got to cut up an old metal shed. I got a lot of junk that I don't want no more that I'm having to get rid of and haul off instead of just piling it in leave it in the house piled up or leaving it in the backyard piled up. I don't like doing people like that. So don't burn bridges. Who knows? This place might burn down tomorrow. I just moved in. I'm going to need a place to stay. It just makes much more sense to treat people fair, so that way, nothing bad happens. I'm a firm believer in karma. But anyway, I was checking out this primer right here. It's a U-Paul primer. It has a hardener that you put into it. It's an additive. I believe it's urethane. It's 4-to-1 mix. I did a lot of research on it. It can be applied directly to metal. I think I'm going to go with that. It is the color white. He's in the back playing Fortnite. Something about my son. Cold water. It's good to see there's some comments coming around, man. I don't very seldom ever do live feeds. It's because half the time I can't read, but now I got my glasses on, and I just don't like wearing glasses. It makes me feel old, but oh well. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm going to use this U-Paul primer on there. It's white. It's a high build primer. It's going to go in my engine bay. I want to make that thing look good, and I don't want it just to last for 6 months. I could, I've asked a couple of people that said, man, just clean it off. Who cares about the bare metal? Who cares about all that? Just shoot it, Just get the paint on there, and just because it's not being exposed to the elements very much, the sun ain't beating down on it, blah, 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 blah. But, I just would hate to have to go and pull a motor out, because that motor is squeaky clean, does have no leaks in it. The guy has guaranteed that motor for me to work. It was put in I think it's a late 50 models Chevy truck. Drink some Worcestershire sauce. I love that liquid Worcestershire sauce, man. It really kicks you in your butt to get you going in the morning. Y'all are going to get me sidetracked. It's going to take me forever to get on here and shoot this video. But anyway, it's a high build primer. I want to do it right. I want that underneath that engine bay to look so awesome. It's unreal. I haven't really made up my mind yet if I'm going to keep the truck patina or not. But for a straight body, as straight a body as my Chevy truck has, it is a really straight body with no body work on it. And I come across a lot of restoration cars and stuff like that people do, that the body shop next door to me does. And Goldfish ponds aren't happening until the warm weather comes and I can get out there with my son and dig some deep holes or build up because we're sitting on rocks. But anyway, if I don't respond to your comments, it's because I get sidetracked real easy. I'm trying to talk about these U-Paul primer here. Anyway, the U-Paul primer can be, I did some research online. It can be applied directly to metal. I like that. Feel the force starts waking up. Oh, what's up with the Studebaker? It's for sale. I don't know how much more thorough. Look, y'all are getting me sidetracked, but that's okay. I don't know how much more thorough I need to do a walk around of the thing other than it's a two-door station wagon. I know that for a fact that is a very rare bird. They didn't make but just a handful. And when I say a handful of those Studebakers, what is left on the earth? Very few. That thing is so much rare. The guy decided he wants to get out of the fixing up cars and buying classic cars. Him and his wife just lost interest in it. He says he's selling everything. On his Cameo, he sold that Corvette already. He traded the Corvette for a $3,000 and a Ford Fairlane, I believe it is. Doesn't have a motor in it. Decent body, nothing special. I was going to go over there and shoot a quick video of it just sitting in the yard. Really got my hands full with my LTD and my 72 Chevy. It's just a lot going on with me, man. I mean, I'm just, the cold weather is killing my foot. I gotta find some way of generating heat so I can get this primer to stick to the truck, because it's not going to get anywhere over into the 60s. Barely reaches the 60s. Barely reaches the 60s. Man, I tell you, man, I guess I'm just going to have to drink some Worcestershire sauce for y'all. I wish I had some. My wife can't keep it in the counter. Every time she buys the big bottle, I suck it down in a couple of days. I don't know what it is. I'm addicted to Worcestershire sauce. It gives you kind of like a euphoria effect. I don't know. If you drink enough of it, it'll get you high, I guess. It'll sure wake you up in the morning. But anyway, so back to the motor. The guy that sold me the motor, well, look here, Toothless. Toothless is here, Toothless. It's my baby, Toothless. You see me? It's my baby. And I want y'all to know, rotate device, it says. I want y'all to know that I do love this dog. I do love on him too, okay? This is my son's dog. He spends more time with my wife and my son than he does me. But he gets plenty of love, as you can see. And I'll tell you something. The reason why I don't like giving that dog a lot of kisses is because his breath stinks like ass. Very bad. Toothless, I'll let him lick me in the face all day. But that black dog, it smelled like he'd been looking on Toothless's butt all day. His mouth and Toothless's butt smell about the same. So for anybody that thinks I'm abusing this dog over here, don't give him no attention. I do. It's just Toothless is my dog, and I raised him from the pillow down, man. I fell in love with the dog. It's kind of like having two wives. Would you have two wives? You can have girlfriends, but and then you have your wife. And more or less, that's my baby. That's my Toothless. Him special puppies. Yes, him he is. I don't know what I would do without him, man. He's my best friend in the whole world. Anyway, back to the primer and the situation with the motor. I keep getting sidetracked, but that's just part of me. All over the place and never in focused on a subject, especially when I'm reading comments in front of me. But anyway, the Studebaker, I talked about that a little bit. It's for sale. I'm going to find out how much he's going to want to sell it for, because those things are worth a lot of money. It's a two-door station wagon Commando. And Big Lou was asking about it. He says, well, man, if we can put our monies together and talk that guy into selling it to us, because I don't think the guy really knows what he has. He really don't have a thing for it. I don't know. Maybe not. I got to talk to the guy. The guy that owns the Studebaker is the same guy that owns all those old cars around there except for the Chevelle. He's getting out of the business. He explained to me. He says, Limpy, you're just now getting into the water and getting wet and enjoying yourself a little bit. He says, my skin's all pruned up. I'm tired of messing with it, man. He says, I'm selling everything I got on the lot, so everything's for sale. Every classic car over there. Basically, he's just out. He's not even going to rent that shop anymore. He told me that if I was going to be interested in renting the shop, that his contract ends in July, I think, of next year. And right now, I don't know if I want to take on that much responsibility. The shop, he's just been using it for storage. I've been kind of doing a little thing or two out of it. I went down to the city, told them that I needed to turn on some water rather than borrow the water from next door. And Classic Rod decided, doesn't Pete use single stage primer under the hood? Single stage, did you say primer under the hood? I don't know how Pete does it, but man, every time that guy's name comes up, man, I heard. It's painful to talk about him. I still love the guy. I still think he had a lot of things going, and the internet ripped us apart, man. It really did. It really sucks it turned out the way it does. I wish the guy would have somehow come around and talk to me, man. I'm not a bad person, but, you know, then again, on the other hand, I go over there and watch the video that he made about me, and all the claims that he made are lies, all the lies that he said of me, or what I'm not going to say he's a liar, I'm just going to say what he personally believes is not true. And I don't want to talk about it anymore about Pete. I still like to watch his videos. I miss him. Yeah, he's almost gone to Utah. We had plans for me to help him move to Utah. I mean, we hit it off big. We were so close as friends together because he grew up as a child the same way I grew up with a child, in a shaky childhood. And the attention that we got from our parents was the same, hardly none. You know, and so that's what grew us close together. It was we knew how each other grew up. We had a lot in common in that area. And when we made a video in my truck and he drove my truck, there's a lot of people that thought he was trying to tear it up. Hell, I've driven the truck a lot worse than that. You know? And why should it matter anyways? It's in the past. Yeah, it sucks that we couldn't work it out, man. It really sucks. The one thing I don't understand is just I don't understand why it happened the way it did. I can't yeah, well, he is one outstanding kind of a guy and knows a lot of stuff. You know, Classic Rod Society sitting there texting me back and forth. Yeah, Classic Rod Society, yes, he's an awesome character to be around. I mean, one of the best paint and body guys I've ever met. Doesn't cut corners at all. Foremost in all, I'll always say that, man. If you need to learn something, he's a good person to learn from. But as far as bedside manners, the dude completely sucks at it. You know, it's just one of those things. If you want to learn from him, you gotta have a lot of patience and it's just a lot to deal with. Sometimes Pete can be a lot to deal with, but I passed all that bullshit, you know, all the hollering and screaming and yelling and drama and all the crap that goes on with him, and how he's not afraid to tell somebody how he feels. He's very outspoken with the way he is, and yeah, if you want to get your Monte Carlo painted from him, he's one of the best, but you'd have to send it to Utah now because he's not taking on any new projects. Dude's got a lot going for him, man. I wish him the best of luck. I hope he don't get up there in Utah and rock the boat too much, because I have lived up north, and when you move up north and the further north you get, you know, the smaller towns you come across, the more smaller towns that you live in, you could fart, and by the time it came back around to you, it's a big old pile of shit, and you're spooning it up, eating it, when all you did was squeak a little fart out. You know, that's just how I feel about small communities. Word travels around fast, and if somebody is loud, obnoxious, and outspoken like that, everybody in town, I promise you this, is going to know Pete. There's two sides on Pete, man. People either don't like him so much, they don't really care for him, or they see past the bullshit and what he's like, and they see the good in him. And I just want to quit talking about Pete right now. That's all I have to say about Pete. I do not hate him. I miss him. I wish shit wouldn't have happened the way it happened. Nobody's perfect. Still watches videos. Watched the video the other day, and he said something about, please be nice to me or something. And I watched this video, and he said that, he's not going to sugarcoat nothing for nobody. And if you want to teach somebody, he teaches people like a drill sergeant. But anyway, back to what I'm talking about, this primer right here. Let's get on this. Let Pete be in the past, man. If he ever calls me, hey, I'll talk to him. Maybe it might work. I don't think we'll ever be able to work together. We're going to live so far apart now, it's unreal. But I wish we could patch things up and at least talk on the phone or something, Use a single stage enamel under the hood. Well, I've already bought the, I'm good at shooting single stage enamel, acrylic enamel. I love that stuff. But the high gloss that I got out of Lou's truck, which is, he owns a 72, no we don't, he owns I think it's a 78 or a 77, I can't remember which it is. I can't remember which one it is. It's a square body Chevy truck, it's that black one. I painted underneath his hood and I painted his fender wells, and boy, that stuff was so bright, it looked so awesome. It was a certain kind of primer, it was a certain kind of clear that he used, and we used U-Paul primer to prime it with, and man, it looks awesome. I mean, I know single stage enamel is a lot easier to do. You only shoot it one time, be out of bing bang, it's done. But I've already bought the base coat, clear coat, and I've made my decision on that. I'm going to paint the fender wells and the firewall that. Possibly for now, just paint the frame, Go ahead and shoot, because I don't have that much money, I'm limited on funds. If I really wanted to do it all the way like I wanted to, I would just like to use the pour 15 or whatever it is on the frame, or Rhino liner or something like that for the frame area, and paint the whole frame, not just right there where the motor bay, engine bay is. But definitely I'm going to get this thing done and get my motor in there. The guy that gave me that has made it with me with the motor, he told me he guaranteed that motor, because that motor was stuck in that 57, 58, something or another Chevy that I pulled it out of. That was a project car. That motor was bought and put in that truck right out of the crate. It hadn't been ridden, that motor has not been rode down the road. It's just set, and I oiled the pistons up. The compression's just fine. It runs perfect. It doesn't have any oil leaks on it. If something goes wrong and I put it in my truck and it don't hold up, I give the guy the motor back. He gives me my money back. Simple as that. It's guaranteed. So I'm not going to have to worry about nothing on that. And I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm okay. And here's another thing I've been doing. I've been getting wired. I know a lot about heating and air conditioning. And I let one person know here recently, since my accident, and I've gotten better, and I've had to change more or less. I can't go to work and go to attics with a limping foot, and I can't stay on it 8 hours a day. So I have 27 years experience in doing heating and air, and I do it so well, man, that it comes natural to me. I enjoy doing it, but I just can't do it for a living no more. I mean, today I walked into this guy's house. I've known him. I used to live next door to him at my old house. He wanted me to come check his heat strips out, or he wanted me to check his unit out. I checked his unit out. I get in there and I look, and it looks like a spaghetti incident going on. I try for a little while to follow the wires around this, that, and the other. Finally, I get tired of messing with it, and I just reach in there and I start jerking wires out. And he goes, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I said, "Dude, I can't stand looking at this stuff. All the wires are mixed around. It looks like a ball of yarn. It's just it looks like a pile of rubber bands in here, man. I'm gonna have to pull everything out and wire it one at a time to where I know everything's gonna be right and done right. Before because that's just me. Sometimes you got to redo something so it'll make sense for you to fix it. But my point is, I'm so good in that area that it just comes natural. I don't have to struggle with it. I don't have to think about it. It's like breathing air for me, and it's something I really miss. I do miss doing the heating and air. But the mistake I made was telling one person that I did it for 27 years, man. I did a good job for the guy, and he's passed that thing around to 5 or 6 people. And here lately, it got cold. I think 5 people called me here lately, telling me their heat wasn't working. Their dryer's not working right. Or their plug over here needs to be fixed, or this light on here on the porch don't work. It's like I have people that call me for those little things, and I do those little things for them. And I've come to realize that, yeah, the extra money is okay. I'm not the kind of person that likes to charge a lot of money. I'm a nice guy. And if they're close people, like these are people that are really in a close network knit group. I eat breakfast with them every morning down there at Whataburger. And they have a friend over here that they know that needs something done, and this, that, and the other. It's nothing major that I have to stay on an 8 hour a day to do. But here recently, it's been killing me, man. My foot's killing me. The cold weather, in and out, up and down. And it's also depressing because I made a lot of money doing heating and air, man. Loads of money. I mean, I would do side jobs like crazy during the summertime, or installs, or putting units in virgin homes, a home that had never had a unit put in it at all. I could do any kind of install there was, commercial, residential, change outs, I was one of the best, and I'm not, and I've earned that right to brag about it because I was, and I can't do it no more because I just can't, I can't balance in the attic. I can't stay on my foot that long. My foot's always numb. It's really a lot to take in whenever you try to go back to doing something just to helping somebody out. It brings back painfulness. It's very painful inside, knowing that you were one of the best and you had to lay down your tools and you can't do it no more like you used to. It's just mixed feelings, I've been going through. But tomorrow I plan on going and starting piece of crap RV. It's a Dodge. I think it's like in the late 70s, early 80s. It looks like a tweaker's wagon. He's just wanting to sell it for $500, but they want me to try to get that thing running. At least turn it over, see if it'll turn it over, and possibly try to get it running. I'll try to shoot some footage of that. I just wanted to let y'all know what was going on, because I haven't shot a video in a couple of days, and I was so excited about getting that motor and just throwing it in there. But, I had to think about a lot of things, man. There's a lot of people that like patina look. I think my truck does look good patina because it doesn't have hardly any body damage on it at all. I thought about learning how to weld, Lou's got a welder. I thought about taking some spider webs and going around the front of the hood a little bit, little spider webs that does this, just around the front of the hood, a little bit. Or just doing that's elevated over the hood, not welding on the hood, creating a spider web that hangs over the top of the hood, kind of like does it, like them old 80s bras that used to put on trucks and cars. It was called a bra. It used to go over the hood. It was a piece of vinyl that, and it looked like it would start at the hood and the nose of it, and then it would get skinny as it went down the center of the hood. I was thinking about creating a web-like thing that was elevated over the top of my hood for that. I thought about taking and fixing the little flaws and everything in my truck as far as dents or rust spots go. Yeah. It was called a bra. Yeah, you're right, dude. It was called a me bra, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I want to do a spider web made out of metal, made out of real, like, if anybody, the first time I seen some art like that done was on Pete's Volkswagen. It was named, it wasn't Herbie, it was I forget what the Volkswagen's name was, but it was supposed to be the evil one. He did some spider web art or some web art on that Volkswagen, and it was awesome. And it ain't nothing but just taking little bitty tiny round metal rod and wire welding and tack welding and just making a design, just do what you feel. Uh, that inspired me to do, and I haven't seen it much around. I just don't see them. I haven't seen some of the stuff that, Pete did, I still think about him constantly. I can't, he inspired me in a lot of ways. I want to start to learn, try to have to make my own signs. My son wants to learn how to weld. He wants to learn how to wire weld. I'm the master of brazing. I know how to work with acetylene and oxygen. I know how to weld copper. I know how to weld metal, brazing, I know how to run a bead, with a flux rod or with a silver solder. I had to weld with silver solder every single day of my life, and my welds had to be completely perfect. They couldn't be just half-assed. They had to look beautiful. They had to have no holes in it. They had to be functional to where the customer went out there and looked at it and they said, man, right on. And they were perfect. When you weld every day, you get perfect. But as far as wire welding goes or stick welding goes, I have no experience of doing that. Lou I told him I was wanting to go buy a welder, sell my Nissan, sell my Honda that I got, that my wife don't want no more. I thought about selling that and getting a welder. He says, no, do not buy a welder. And I go, why? He says, well, if you're wanting to buy a welder for your son, you got to make sure he's interested in it first. If you want him to use one and let him try him out and get him interested in it, that's fine. If you want to use my welder, you can use it, but you're going to have to buy that little wheel in there that feeds the wire or any parts. So any parts that needs to be replaced on Lou's welder, he's got a stick welder, he's got a wire welder, he's got a acetylene and oxygen tank. I got a couple of gauges that I've held on to, and I'm going to have to find somewhere to get a hose, acetylene oxygen hose, a torch tip for cutting, and a regular welding tip, and maybe a rosebud tip or something. I don't know, for, a rosebud tip, it heats a large area. You can make it large area hot instead of just a little area hot. But yeah, it's just my dad's a welder. My stepdad was a welder, and he was one of the best also. He works for Imperial Sugar. He's one of the hot dogs right now in Louisiana. He's fixing to retire. He was the boss of the whole plant. Very cut and dry guy, doesn't see shades of gray. Me and him, I've tried to impress him my whole life. I've always been the black sheep of the family. He still does not want to call me, man. But I know that by watching him weld, he told me this. He said, the only true way to weld, no one can teach you to weld. You have to do it and do it and do it and do it until you teach yourself. That's all there is to it. Somebody can show you how to adjust the heat on it. They can explain to you how the wire works. But the only way, really true way to learn how to weld is just do it. Pick you up a welder and start welding. And if you burn some shit up, fix it. If you burn the tip up, get a new one or clean it out. Or whatever it is that you do with the welder, you got to pay attention. There's certain things, there's do's and don'ts. People can teach you the basics, but there's only one way to weld, and that's just get out there and do it. Anyway, I'm going to get off here and let y'all go. I just wanted to let everybody out there know that I'm okay and I'm fine. Classic Rod Society, thank you for having this conversation with me, man. Paint, do you, man. Dale Armstrong says, I love welding. I just got to remember not to wear shorts. That was some of my problems, man. Whenever I would weld with silver solder, man, I would sometimes be upside down welding some copper or something. I swear to God, this is a true story. One day, I was welding on the job and I was sweating. It was hot as hell outside. I was sweating so much that a drip of solder actually fell on my arm and rolled down my arm. Didn't burn me at all because my body was so wet and I was sweating so bad that the little bead of solder just rolled off my arm. It tripped me out. I said, wow, that has never happened to me. ever but one time. Most of the time that solder will hit you and it'll stick to your skin and you'll be, ow, or it'll go down in your boot. You drip some in your boot. Terrell Armstrong says he burned himself. I wish the comments would stay, but he said he burned himself. I think he welded together a smoker last week and he had shorts on. Classic Rod Society, brazing is real easy, man. It is real easy. You just got to turn your torch on, make the flame kind of low, adjust your heat. It's really easy. If you can MIG and TIG weld, that's easy. I consider that easy because all you're doing is you're just making a little area, 2 pieces of metal, 2 pieces of copper, whatever it is you're welding on, and you can either sweat it in there when you're doing tubing, or you can actually put a bead around the edge. And my job that I like to do with my welding when I weld the copper, when you're using silver solder, is get it hot enough to suck copper into the joint. And then after you're done with that, let it cool a little bit and run a strong bead around the outside where the seam is. None of my welds ever leak that away. I haven't did too much welding on metal. I have did some on metal, but it's the same principle. You just got to know how to back your heat off and when to put the heat on and how to move your stick, you know. It's just like TIG and MIG welding. You got to move that. You got to draw little circles, little dimes, you know, or just... It is a little different doing oxygen settling, you know, when you braze. Once you get the hang of the torch and the heat and how close to get it and how to set your torch and the right way to set your torch and where, you know, there's just a lot of different things about difference between welding. But I would like to learn how to electric weld with a MIG, TIG, and Lou's going to make that opportunity happen for me. Appreciate everybody that's been on the channel commenting with me. Y'all just don't know how good y'all make me feel sometimes, man. I could be having a down time and thinking down on myself and shit happening, and it's just sometimes my life is just full, you know, and I just don't feel well. My mental status sucks, and y'all keep me going, man. Be More Random, man. He's another guy on a YouTube channel. Dude, his channel is crickets, man. He is so disappointed. No one never sees him. It's B-MORE Random. And he asked me, he says, man, I ain't making no money on YouTube. I said, dude, the thing is, if you're going to make videos and you want to make money making YouTube money with YouTube, you got to take time to chop and edit videos. You got to put all those fancy words on the screen. You got to have an introduction. You got to have background music. There's just a lot of things, and that's what Pete did, man. He spent loads and lots of hard-earned. That's why he only had one video a week. Sometimes he would do a video. It would take him all week long or 2 or 3 days to do the edit, do the shoot itself of just all kinds of video footage, and then he would break it down on an editing program that he had to buy, and he would feed it into that machine, and he showed me how to do it, you know. And I would just sit there and watch him hours and hours, having to catch the right second to make the background music to flare up and be loud, and the right second to put laughter in the background when he wanted something to be funny. You know, believe it or not, noises in the background make the video awesome. You know, introductions on videos make your channel grow. People find that glorious for some reason. And for me to sit there and watch him and pay attention to him and him try to teach me how to edit and shoot videos like that, it just seemed like a lot of time and a lot of hard work. And I really don't think the guy had got a lot of credit for, he doesn't get credit for a lot of that crap. It's really hard making professional videos. And I try to tell Be More Random that, because he doesn't have hardly any subscribers. I think it's down in the double digits, man. 15, 20, or I don't even think he's even up to 30. And he says, I just ain't making no money. I had to explain to him, look, man, you either got to love it for what you love it for. The reason why I use it is because I use people on this channel because, yeah, I could look stuff up online and find out, oh, he makes about you do, huh? $600 a month. Well, that's cool, dude. Really? Wow. That's awesome, Classic Ride Society. You're doing it, bro. I just got my own reasons, man. I don't want to make videos and make money, man. I just got a lot of reasons, and they're just my personal reasons. I don't want to talk about why I don't want to monetize my channel, but I just have good reasons not to. And I like your friends most of all. Y'all are like gold to me, man. That's more than worth anything money could buy me. It could probably help me out a lot, but I'll probably share on that one of these days when I feel like sharing. There is a major reason why I don't want to monetize my channel. I just can't, you know. That's all I can say is I can't. Anyway, I guess I'll see you later, man. I've never had a live feed go this well. I've never went this long and talked for 36 minutes non-stop and had a live feed like this. I might want to do more in the future. I just can't tell you how much I enjoy everybody, man. Everybody on the channel I'm content with now. I don't have a bunch of haters and trolls running around. I'm just happy with everybody here, and thank y'all very much, man. To make money, it makes a job, and enjoy it is more important. Yeah, there you go, Daryl Armstrong. I like that one. To make money makes it a job, and enjoy it is more important. I enjoy this so much, man. And yeah, I could probably enjoy it and make money too, but I'd be worried about views and all this other. I don't know. There's just some major reasons that I just don't want to, man. I'll explain one of these days whenever the time's right, but right now I just choose to be silent about it and leave it alone, you know. But anyway, I gotta go, man. As much as I like to sit here and chit chat with y'all, it's been 37 minutes. I could sit here for an hour, man. It'd be the first long hour feed I've ever had, huh? But you should do more lives. I need to start doing lives too. Yeah, Classic Ride Society. Yeah, I've never seen your face, Classic Ride Society. I want to see your face, man. See y'all later, man. I'll still read the comments. I love making videos. Third in the junkers fought me, so I might as well get paid. Yeah, you are, dude. You're getting paid. I'm proud of you, man. I had to say goodbye and then leave somebody out when they leave a comment up here. So I'm going to give it about a good 45 seconds before I cut the camera off and kill the live feed. But I guess there's been only like 4 or 5 of you on here. Watch. Tomorrow I'll get up and look, and everybody have been watching this whole video, and they're going to go, damn, I missed another one. So I'll say it in advance, man. Thank you, Ratchet951, for watching, because I know you're going to be watching. Sharebear's going to be watching and commenting. Disabled Submarine Vet's going to be watching. I think Gunner Sean already commented just a while ago. Sprayway Customs, he's going to be commenting. To everybody out there, I love y'all so much. And thank you, Classic Ride Society, man. We need to meet up one day, man. We live in the same area. There ain't no damn reason why we can't meet each other and shake hands and be friends. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Till next time, man. Peace out.